Hey, what's up? Alex here. Thanks to Ecovacs for sending me this X1 Omni. This is actually my first time trying out a mopping robot with self-cleaning, so I don't have any prior experience to compare with. Everything is going to be very new to me. In my last robot vacuum comparison video in December last year, I mentioned China already has this X1 release that has auto empty and auto mop cleaning all combined into one. Seriously, I didn't expect this to be released in Singapore so soon. I thought it would take like 1 or 2 years, and I was already planning to get a mopping robot separately already. So it seems like they all decided to skip the mopping robot product line and jump straight to launch their most premium product. What makes the X1 Omni so premium is this space station. Here is the dimension I measured to give you an idea of the space it occupies. Now let's talk about what this station can do. First of all, it has auto empty, which means the robot will automatically return to the station to empty dust after each cleaning session. There is a button below, press and it will open up this middle compartment. Dust will all be sucked to this dust bag. Once full, you can easily dispose and replace with a new one. Packaging includes one extra dust bag. Opening up the top cover, you will find two water tanks. To the right is a blue water tank to refill clean water. Ecovacs do sell cleaning solutions separately if you want. And then to the left is a black water tank which collects the dirty water. What this does is, every certain interval that you are able to set on the Ecovacs app, the robot will return to the station to clean the mopping pads. There are 3 options: 10 minutes, 15 minutes or 25 minutes. This timing is not fixed as the robot is smart enough to adjust based on the floor dirtiness, carpet cleaning and other factors. And of course, at the end of each cleaning cycle, it will clean the mopping pad one more time. After that, the station will blow hot air at the mopping pads to dry it. I think it's really important to have this feature to prevent the mopping pad from getting smelly, and also no need to remove them to dry every time, which is an additional chore. Another thing that you can find in the top compartment is an accessory storage box. Inside it, there is a pair of spare mopping pad and a cleaning brush. Then right at the top there are 3 button controls. The first button is to dispense or drain water at the washing area. I will cover this later in the video when I talk about the maintenance part. The middle button is to start or pause, then the last button is to direct the robot out of the station or recall it back. One thing that I'm happy that Ecovacs has added is child lock. Press and hold the first and third button will disable the buttons on the station as well as the controls on the robot. Now let's look at the robot itself. This is also what caught my eye straight when I did my unboxing. The overall material and design looks very premium, very unlike most of the robots you see in the market. They go with such a top cover design which makes a lot of sense since you hardly ever need to open it. The internal dust box is different from their other models because of where they need to place the opening for auto empty. It has a power on and off switch here which I really like. Not all robots have that too. Underneath is pretty much the same as T9, 2 side brushes and a main roller brush in the middle. So instead of the usual mop attachment using a piece of small cloth, the X1 mopping is using these kind of pads attached to a mopping plate, then simply slot in the plate to secure it. One important thing to take note is when the mopping is attached, during cleaning, once it detects that there is carpet, the X1 will avoid it. This is to prevent making your carpet wet. If you want to vacuum the carpet area, you will have to remove the mopping. In other words, you will need to do more than one cleaning session if you want to vacuum the carpeted area and mop the rest of the house. For that, I hope that they could give users a choice in the software because actually I don't mind making this carpet a little wet since I am cleaning this room first. The mop pads are definitely clean as well. As for using this kind of rotating spinning mop pads, are they better in terms of cleaning performance? I will say it is slightly better because the mopping plates are constantly pushed down, giving more pressure contact to the floor. But they are still not meant to clean up a dirty mess or stubborn stains on the floor. Use these robots the right way. Looking at the size of the mopping pads, you can tell that it is unable to cover these 2 sides of the robot. This means that it is unable to reach the edges of a wall when the X1 is traveling in this direction. My suggestion is to set customized cleaning to run the room twice if you want it to clean the edges well, because the robot will go the other direction for the second run and not the same route again. You can tell this easily when you look at the map. That's the difference when you set it to clean twice. In terms of vacuum performance, going at 5000 par, the overall expected result is still similar from the past, able to pick up more or less what these vacuums are meant for. Comes with 4 levels of suction power for you to set. Here are the noise levels based on my own testing. As for the navigation, Ecovacs has been always using DTOF. Personally, I would prefer LDS more, but as long as it is using LiDAR, I can accept that. What I always like about Ecovacs is their object detection and avoidance system. Let's run my obstacle test and see the result. Spotted the figurine and did a nice cleaning around it. Detected the slipper, didn't make a single contact at first, but later on the side of the robot touches it little when brushes past it. Totally avoided the dangling cable, which is fantastic. Lastly is the most challenging floor mat. Didn't get stuck and also didn't drag the mat out of its original spot. Overall, as long as the object is not too small, the X1 is able to recognize it. Same logic applies for pathways. Now let's go through some of the additional special features. Basically, whatever features that are already in the market, the X1 has it. The first one that I realized they have added is the quick mapping. I mentioned before, I really like this feature a lot because I want to quickly set up my map and cleaning options. From the usual around 60 minutes, now the map is ready in 5 minutes, saving a lot of time. The X1 also has a front-facing camera. You can remotely control it like a mobile surveillance camera. This feature is not something new, but they kind of push the usage to another level. You can set it to patrol your house on a schedule. While it is patrolling or cleaning, you can record video clips or capture screenshots to a cloud storage capacity of 50 MB. You can then choose whether to save them to your own phone storage. You can make video calls with it. The camera quality is actually pretty decent. Sometimes I use it to find my dog when he is hiding at some blind spots away from my IP cameras. A special feature that the X1 has and not the other robot vacuums is they have their own voice assistant control. Okay, Eco.
I'm here.
Yes, you can still use Google Assistant or Amazon Alexa, the usual way of how to connect Ecovacs to those platforms. But what if you don't have smart speakers or these smart home setups? Then at least you can make use of Eco. Eco also has more voice commands capability that you can trigger. In my previous video, I made a comment about their 3D map feature. The T9 also have this 3D map feature in the app where you can place some preset furniture objects to the map to make it look like your own house. But personally, I feel that it's a little gimmick. I don't see real usage for it. I have to eat back my words now because I finally see what they are trying to do here. Using Eco, you can actually execute commands like start vacuum under the sofa or bed, and the X1 will go to where you have placed a bed in the 3D map and start cleaning that area. That day, my dog just steals some tissues and play with them under the bed, causing some mess. Cases like that, you can use such commands. Or when sometimes I don't want the X1 to clean where I am, I can say, do not clean here for now. Then it will go ahead and clean somewhere else first, then come back later. So in other words, it's able to track where the source of the sound is coming from. You also have many other operation related commands like turning up suction, switching the water flow, checking remaining battery power, all this. I'm honestly impressed by this AI capability because this is actually useful innovation. Of course, their voice assistant is not as polished as Google or Alexa in terms of capturing and interpreting the words you say. But once you know the exact words to use, or basically how to communicate with Eco, this is super useful. The last thing I want to cover is about maintenance because having a robot vacuum is all about convenience and how much the X1 allow you to go hands-free. Based on the cleaning options I set, the clean water tank capacity can last me for 4 cleaning sessions. So I decided to just refill it twice every week, once on Wednesday or Thursday and another time on Sunday. At the same time, pour away the dirty water. This process takes about 3 minutes. Every once a month, I will just visually check the internal dustbin whether there are anything stuck inside. After that, I will clean the mop cleaning area. To do that, you will just press the first button on the station to add water to that area. Then you can start cleaning. Once done, press the button again to drain out the water. These processes takes me about 2 minutes. Every 2 months, I will then replace the dust bag and clean the main brush. This can take about 5 minutes. Overall, I'm very satisfied with the amount of time and effort saved using a self-cleaning station versus the normal typical robots. Not to mention that it is not dragging a dirty cloth anymore for the entire house now. With the X1, it literally solves my 2 major issues of using robots to mop. I'm happy that it's able to clean away my dog's salivas on the floor every day now. If you're looking to buy the best robot vacuum available, the X1 Omni is the most advanced and complete robot that you can get right now. Okay, so I'm sure I will have people asking in the comments, how about the robovac MaxV Ultra, which is the direct competitor? I didn't have a chance to try it, but just by looking at the spec sheet, there are a couple of things that I would prefer the X1 Omni instead. First is the size and design of the base station. Compared to those small docking stations that we used to have, these are huge and very prominent in the house. For me, I simply prefer the X1 because it has a more clean and sleek design. Then next is the mopping. I will also prefer the spinning mop pads instead of a piece of cloth. And robovac doesn't seem to have the hot air blow dry feature. Other than that, the rest of the features they both have are pretty similar. Of course, price is a huge factor as well, but depending on where you are based, I understand the price can be very different. In Singapore, they cost around 1.5k SGD. Personally, I hope the next feature they can implement is to have a piping system so that it can automatically fill up the water tank that is in the robot directly and then automatically drain out the dirty water after cleaning the mopping pads. Something like how a washing machine operates. In that way, the base station can be much smaller because you don't need that space to house the 2 water tanks. That will be like a complete automation where you can totally hands off. Till then, I'll most likely stick with the X1 Omni all the way. So what do you think? Are you tempted to buy the X1? Let me know in the comments below. I hope this review is helpful, and if you do enjoy this video, a like and a subscribe will be greatly appreciated. Alright, that's all from me. See you in the next one. Bye.